Okay, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Ashley, and I'm back one more again. I'm coming today, and I don't know how like quick this video is gonna be because I really just don't know. It's probably just gonna be like a lot of rambling, but I know I've done a couple videos in this whole Flab to Fab series, I guess you call it. I don't really know if it's series, but whatever. And my last video was a couple days ago, and please forgive me, y'all, it was 30 minutes. I'm sorry. I ain't want it to be that long, but I don't know, and I didn't want to cut it up, so 30 minutes it was. But people still viewed it, so I really appreciate y'all, and the nice comments that you guys left on that video as well. But I was thinking that I probably posted that video, and maybe even the one before that, with haste, that I probably should have did this video right now prior to doing those two videos. But I mean, better late than never, right? So it's kind of in the same vein as a whole changing perspective thing. But I just did kind of want to talk about, when it comes to weight loss thing, I guess motivation, really, and having a healthy dose of selfishness, if you will. I know that we're communal people, humans. We like to be with one another and spend time with one another, have closeness, and you like to do things for other people and show them your appreciation and have a good time together. But I think when it comes to this weight loss journey, it really takes a great deal of selfishness. And I say that because I think ever before you start working out, ever before you start changing your diet, you go to the grocery store and buy a whole gang of new things that you didn't used to eat, or you start looking up a diet plan or trying to figure out what it is you're going to do to try and attain the goal. Ever before you do any of that, I think that you have to sit down with yourself and make some determinations about what you're planning to do and what you're ready to do. Obviously, everybody has different weight loss goals. So if you're trying to lose 5 or 10 pounds, this may not apply to you. I mean, I think it does in some regard, but it may not be as big of a deal. I think if you're like me, and like what I would assume many of my subscribers are dealing with just from the kind of feedback that I've gotten, you probably have a little more than 5 or 10 to lose. And everybody puts on weight for different reasons. You might have had a kid. You might have, honestly just gotten lazy and, complacent. You just like to eat. It might be some emotional trigger there, because oftentimes when, people gain a lot of weight over time, it's not always because they just like hamburgers. You know what I'm saying? But aside from that, I think when it comes to, especially when you're trying to make a lifestyle change, it takes, I guess, you have to approach it a certain type of way and have a certain type of solace within yourself before you can actually do it. If you're anybody that is obese or overweight, or you know that you have a lot of pounds to lose, and you know that it's going to be hard, and you've probably tried to do this numerous times over the years, like I have, because I'm in that boat. Here, president of that club. I think you have to come to a point where you get real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? I think that you have to be your biggest motivation, and you have to decide that this really is the time, and that you're really going to do it this time. I mentioned in the first video, or the second video rather, the one about changing perspective, that this is probably the first time ever, and I've done this many times, I'm gonna lose it, the summertime coming, I gotta get in a bathing suit, or I want to be sexy in my dresses or whatever, or I just want to lose it because I'm getting tired of the numbers in my jeans increasing, whatever. I've done it so many times, but this is the first time that I've really been serious about it, and I've really stuck to it and have been trying to do what I need to do to get it done, and I've actually seen a result. It's the first time, and I think that is because I have finally gotten real with myself and gotten honest with myself. The thing about it is, I think you have to come to a point where, you know what, you are ready to do this, and you're ready to do this for you. Not for your friends, not for your mama and them, your cousin, your auntie, your dog, not for your kids, not for your husband or your boyfriend, but for you. Because honestly, once you do it for you and you make a lifestyle change and increase, your level of health and get yourself feeling better and looking better and all the rest of the other stuff, that exudes. and it transformed the relationships that you have with all of those people. Your mama, your daddy, your boyfriend, your husband, your kids, all of that. You know what I'm saying? But you have to first, I think, make a determination that you are going to do this for you. So if you don't have nobody that's going to work out with you, if you don't have nobody that's going to eat right with you, if, you know, people gonna judge you and say whatever they want to say, oh, you eating like a rabbit, or you doing whatever, if all of that happens, or if you lose 50 pounds and then tomorrow you go to a function and everybody there act like you haven't lost one, it doesn't matter. That's the kind of place where you have to bring yourself to, that you don't care what anybody else says or anybody else thinks. I mean, a lot of times we, you know, we want to lose weight for ourselves, but it feels good when somebody say, girl, you done lost so much weight, or you look good, or how did you do it, you know, all the rest of that stuff. You have to kind of come to a place where it doesn't matter if no one says anything. If no one parts their lips and mentions that you lost a pound, or that you look better, or that anything. When you come to a place where you are completely confident in what you're doing for yourself, and you appreciate you for doing it, and you don't care about nobody else, I think that's the time when you are genuinely ready to get this lifestyle thing under control. I'm not an expert. I've told y'all that before. And I'm on this journey just like many of y'all are. So I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm on some higher plane and I, you know, have reached some level of knowledge that I can impart on y'all, because it's not like that. But I feel like finally I have come to a place where, you know, I don't care about anything else. I don't care about what anybody else is eating or doing or whatever. When you get to that place, it's easier. I didn't say it's easy. But it's easier to resist those temptations. It's easier to be around family, because oftentimes family, if you have a weight issue, if all y'all eating unhealthy or doing unhealthy stuff, it's easy for them to kind of, you know, make little comments or say little stuff or try and make you feel bad about the fact that you're trying to eat different or whatever. But once you come to that place where I'm doing this for me, it's like you can sit in the midst of all of them eating whatever they eating and you doing you, because you want it to work for you. I've also kind of noticed that since I've really kind of been doing this and I've just kind of been, you know, diligent in it and really trying to get it done, my journey, I think in many ways, is affecting the journeys of other people around me. And I didn't really notice it, you know, on its face in the beginning, but the more I kind of sit back and think about it, I can see how things that I'm doing, you know, people make a little comment or ask a question or say a little something that makes me realize that, you know, they're hearing what I'm saying, or they're seeing what I'm saying and doing, and it's kind of rubbing off. You know what I mean? It's like not even major things, but just people ask me, well, you know, I'm really, one of my coworkers, she's talking about she wants to try and lose weight now too. And she's been fighting it. She's been fighting it. But she's like, she's going to get it done. So it's been a couple times where she's asked me questions. Well, you know, I don't know how I feel about this. What do you think about that? Or this, I mean, I know it's helping me, but I just don't enjoy it. And I don't know how I can overcome it. And, you know, I'm able to give her information based on what I've experienced and things that I've been doing. And it helps her in her journey towards whatever her goal is. You know, we may not have the same goal, we may not be trying to do the same thing, but it's kind of like each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? It's like we are, if everybody's kind of doing it and in their own path, you can help one another, whether you realize it or not. So it's just, I don't know. I just feel like before anything else happens with food, exercise, anything, you have to decide that you are ready to do this for you. Not necessarily I want to lose 3 dress sizes, because that's great. And I'm sure you'll love yourself even more once you do. But it's just, I want to be better. I want to be healthy. I want to do this the right way. And I promise you, I've noticed that the more and more I do it, it becomes so much more enjoyable. Though when I started, it was such a labor. It was just like, really? Here I go again, eating some more salad. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, because it is a lifestyle change and you are doing little things here and there and just tweaking, the further you move in it, the more comfortable it becomes, the more second nature it becomes, and the easier it becomes to just live. You know what I'm saying? I just want to, if I can, motivate anybody to, you know, whatever your situation is. Like I've said, if you want to lose 5, if you want to lose 10, if you want to lose 50, whatever your situation is, to just decide that I'm going to do this for me. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I don't care what anybody else has to say. Because some people going to say, girl, I don't even know what you're trying for. You got so much to lose. Or you think that little walking every day after work is going to do anything? You need to really, you know, people can comment and they be the ones you love. And they may not be thinking they saying something in a negative way, but they're just, to them, being realistic or maybe giving you positive criticism. And it can be a burden, and it can be negative, and it can kind of make you second guess what you're doing and make you wonder if this is really what you want to do. It can be hurtful. I mean, honestly, it can be hurtful. But I think that you have to come to a place where you are ready to do this for you. No matter what anybody else has to say or do, no matter what anybody else is doing, it's just, you are ready to do this, you know? And if you don't get any recognition, if nobody notices, it's okay, because you're fine with yourself. You know what I mean? You know how you feel. It's like amazing to me. One thing that I said I was not going to do was be a slave to the scale. I went out and bought one simply because I didn't have one. And I wanted to, over time, kind of see the progression. But I didn't want to be one of those every single day stepping on the scale, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night stepping on the scale. You know what I'm saying? You know, some people like, well, this is what it say right now, but let me go use the bathroom. I come back and I'll be done lost a little bit. You know, there are people like, I mean, just always stressing about the number. And I don't want to do that. So I've really been trying not to do that. But it does feel good to me when I put on clothes that I know were a little bit more snug before and they fit a little bit more comfortably. Have I finished my journey? No. Do I still have a long way to go? Yes. Do I even by the time my vacation comes, I know that I probably won't be, well, I won't be at my ultimate goal. But just the small steps and strides that I've made to that have been very impressive and very motivating to me. Because there are shirts that I put on like, you know, these things even been a little tight, and now, you know, they fit better. I don't know. This video may be completely all over the place, but I just want to kind of give a little bit of encouragement and just say, you know, do this for you. You have to be selfish. Like I said, you know, people around you might be thinking that maybe you should lose weight, and maybe you should, but you can't really do this and get it done properly until you're ready to do it for you. It's just like drug addicts and alcoholics and people who have all kind of other addictions. They have to hit a rock bottom and then for themselves determine, I'm ready to get clean. And that's the only way that they can make strides to getting better and to creating a better, you know, standard of living for themselves and putting themselves in a better position for life. You know what I'm saying? It's like people can tell you all day long, they parents, family, y'all always see intervention. You know what I'm saying? People constantly fighting and arguing with you, crying about it, all types of emotions, trying to tell these people and get through to them, this is what needs to happen. But it's not until they realize for themselves that I need to do this or else that it happens. So do you. Do you. That's all you can do. You know what I'm saying? I know so many people, especially women, it's so hard sometimes for us to kind of put ourselves at the top of the list, especially if you're a mother and if you're a wife and if you have responsibilities in, you know, every aspect of your life. Sometimes it's hard to just say, I'm sorry, I can't deal with what y'all dealing with right now because I have to focus on me. You know, and a lot of times we kind of take that position of, well, you know, as long as y'all are taken care of, I'll deal with me later. Or, you know, you'll be the ones who get the leftovers or whatever is there after everybody else has gotten what they need. And not just when it comes to food, but just, you know, in general, love and attention and affection and support and all those type of things that we give that we don't always give ourselves. So I think that it's especially hard for us sometimes to just take a step back and say, look, I'm going to do this for me. And especially if you are all things to all people, because there are so many of us that you are there for your sisters and your cousins. Anytime they need anything, you're there to be their shoulder to cry on and they backbone, and you there for the kids to make sure they all taken care of, and you there for your hubby or your boo thing to make sure that everything he needs is taken care of. So it gets in a situation where everybody knows that if they can't rely on nobody else, they can rely on you. And sometimes when you take that stance, like, I want to do this for me, other people don't know how to react because they know you're always the one I can call on. And now you kind of trying to tell me no, or kind of trying to take a step back. But I think it's so important because you can't be the best you can be for anybody else until you are the best you can be for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So do you, everybody. You know, just do you. Just be focused on you and realize when it comes to this health thing or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish in your life. It may not be losing weight. It may be, you know, changing career paths, or I don't know, you might want to start a business or become more involved in an organization, or you might have some social issue that you want to focus on and that you're really passionate about, you want to fight for. Whatever it is, you just kind of have to take a step back and say, I'm going to do this for me, regardless of what y'all are going through. I'm going to make sure that y'all okay. You know, the kids not going to be running around, you know, little girls looking crazy by the head, clothes not matching, little boys looking crazy, and house a mess, and ain't nobody fed. I'm not saying that. But you know what I mean? Take the time for yourself. And honestly, just let them know, look, in order for all of us to be fine, I need to be fine. So if you love me and appreciate me the way you say you do, let me do me. And I know so many ladies who comment on my videos and things have said how it's been helpful for their husbands who've been supportive of them, or their boyfriends or their friends. And it's always great to have a support. But it's great to know, or maybe important to know, that even if that support wasn't there, I could do this for me, because if ain't nobody else looking, I'm looking. Okay, but I just want to come and say that I know this video is long. I don't say more than a few words. Y'all know how I do. I get to rambling and talking and just on and on and on and on and on and whatever. But thanks again to everybody who has subbed, new and old, everybody who's left comments, especially on these Flab to Fab videos, who have said that I have been encouraging. I really appreciate it. Anything that I can say and do to help anybody, I will do. Y'all know I'm on this journey too. So when y'all comment and say things, and you know, I've gotten good luck and I hope you're doing well and all those kind of things, I appreciate that more than y'all even know. So much so. And it helps me so much so when I am at home and I'm getting ready to go work out and I'm like, oh Lord, do I really want to do this? I can skip a day, right? And then I kind of think about those comments, or I go and check my email. I see somebody say something, like, oh, let me get my butt up and go. But I just want to come and say, hey, I hope everybody is doing well. Anybody that's on this journey, like, we can do this, like, for real this time we can do it. But anyway, just wanted to come through, and I will see y'all in the next one. Deuces.